All right, ladies and gentlemen, for FBI training only. All right, we're watching all these other YouTubers, right? I'm just watching, seeing what's going on, who's covering what. We got the infamous French Ruckus, the Frenchman himself, on Frankenmeister's channel, which Frank is probably all in glory right now because now he's saying Richard Allen was the guy all along, and so Frank's all in glory right now, and he's devoted to backing the family now. Okay, so let's just watch real quick. I'll dump Frank Meister's channel in my chat, but I want to hear what old Ruckus has got to say. I want to see what's going on here. I want to see right the old FBI training. You could see when someone's lying. You could tell when someone's messed up, when they're drunk, when they're on something, whatever. Right? If you look at Richard Allen's mugshot, his eyes are bigger, so his pupils are giant. So it's possible maybe he was on something when they did pick him up. But let's see what Ruckus has got to say. Let's see what old Ruckus has got to say, because Ruckus has been saying it's him all along. So.
We were starting to get worried there about 1:30, quarter to 2. And I was like, damn, man. I was talking to Bob. He said, man, it's looking like a hung tree. I said, yeah, I'm getting worried about that. And the next thing you know, I see Anna and 4 other women hightailing to the front of the courtroom, to the house, to the doors. And then I just happened looking on the right, and I see Rosie, Baldwin, and their whole clan walking up. I said, oh, shit, they got a verdict. I said, because if it was a hung jury, we wouldn't have got it like that. You know what I mean? And we didn't even... to see Richard Allen there. All we heard... device got disconnected.
Well, she told them when they started deliberations, she told the attorneys, you have to be within 5 minutes you have to remain within 5 minutes of the courthouse while they're deliberating.
We didn't even know that Richard was there.
Huh?
We didn't even see Richard be brought up or anything.
No, I'm just saying. My feeling is they may have had him. May have had him in down the street.
Right, because all we knew is oh, damn.
And when you stop and think about it, they were only deliberating for 18 hours. That is not long at all for everything that they had to go over with, in my opinion. I know for everybody it seemed like days because it was days, but in total it was only 8.
Happened over at the Supreme Court when they were filing with them. So
I've been wrong before. I was positive he changed his plea, and he should have. He's an idiot because now he has nothing at sentencing. If he pled out, he could have got instead of consecutive, he could have got concurrent. Maybe work to deal with that.
The victim impact statements are going to be awful.
Yeah,
I'll be back up there for that. Trust me on that. When sentencing comes around.
But I know it's an emotional day and everything, but this is not closure for those.
No.
Absolutely. There is no closure. It will be a raw wound for them forever. And it'll only take, a memory or a song, a sound, a smell, whatever, to remind them.
Right.
She's
and like we said, it's not about us, but for me, like I said, it was bittersweet for me because I got so close to the family, and I'm not a crier, but when it comes to this case.
And there is a key thing for anybody out there, FBI training or anything. These YouTubers got close to the families. And we've seen that with other YouTubers that claim they knew the families. And in a murder case, when you got people out there that are on your side, when the case ain't even been investigated properly, and you got people out there that now are saying, well, they got close to the family. Some of these YouTubers said they knew the family. So right off the bat, I can understand how some of these other YouTubers were going, why will they not let us look into why, whenever we say something, these people attack us or they go crazy? Well, probably because they were close to the family of the girls. Now, we also seen Anthony Greeno, who claimed he dated Becky and he was very close to the family and went hunting and knew them. And he also was one that was diverting people everywhere, right? Now, this is what other YouTubers were talking about, that whenever somebody brought up the family or with a situation within the family before the case, it seemed like these YouTubers can't, and we've seen this in the Summer Wells case. All right, so let's keep going. Let's listen to old Frank here and see what's going on. And old Ruckus, the crazy Frenchman. Oui.
Everybody's seen the emotion in me. I took this case very seriously, and the next case that I worked is to Jordan Sofer, and I'm going to take it just as serious. Because her family...
I don't know why he's snorting so much or wiggling his nose or whatever. I don't know. But, you know, being that I've been on things myself and everything, I mean, I'm not saying he is, but I'm just saying he sure does snivel a lot and rub his nose. This is very interesting. I'm not saying anything, but if we were like doing an FBI interrogation and they show you these things, if people blink in so much time, that's a sign of deception. Whatever, people doing things, touching their nose, doing a lot of stuff is a sign of
deserves some type of answers for this case, you know, and that's what I'll be working on next. But I promise to everybody out there that I will attend the sentencing hearing and all that stuff. This case is not over until he's sentenced.
I'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's looking at 130 years. I think she's going to throw the book at him.
Yeah.
I cannot see her giving him any leniency.
He's going to get some time cut. There's no doubt.
The crime is so horrific that he committed. He won't ever see the light.
Blow your nose. Do something. Get a hanky, Frank. Quit touching your nose and snivel it. You're making people think maybe you're on something. You're wiggling all around the place.
No, he won't. He might get some time cut, time served in the county jail because they cut that time off your prison sentence, but he ain't getting nothing. She's going to slam dunk him. I'm sorry to say that, you know, but you committed horrific
9 days. Is it 9 or 8 days before Libby's birthday?
She was born December
29th.
Yeah. Yep. The 20th.
9 days. 9 days before her birthday.
Perfect birthday present for the
Absolutely.
family. You know, let's give some shout outs here. Everybody's been watching for me all day. I'm sorry that my phone was acting up. I think it was because it was knocked. I ran right to the stairs, and here comes Barbara McDonald with this yellow sign with all the counts that says guilty on all counts. And the place erupted. Karen G, True Crime Sleepers. That's the name.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody knows this or not. I don't know Indiana law. They could have put death penalty on the table on this one, but they didn't.
Right.
That's right.
It costs more money.
But I wonder if he applies for an appeal.
Frank, blow your nose or do something. I have no idea why you keep rubbing your nose. This ain't good. Now, here comes Ruckus, right? The crazy Frenchman. Ruckus, I think Ruckus was a police officer, right? He's a good, yeah, I watch his channel and everything. And Ruckus was saying it was him the whole time. I'm not sure. I think I'm not sure. But then again, nobody knew it was Richard Allen. We had a photo, but we did not know it was Richard Allen. I don't know. But let's continue here. Now I'll be dropping old Frank's. Let me drop
They can
his
put
channel.
that penalty back on.
Well, I called my attorney right after everything and told him what happened. And he said, well, I'm going to tell you right now, as a former prosecutor for Marion County, you're talking 2 to 3 year appeal process, he said.
Oh, yeah, easy.
Somebody get him a goddamn hanky or something. Can you get him something to blow his nose? Something? Hanky? Bandana or something? All right, hold on. Let me post Frank's chat or Frank's channel in my chat real quick so nobody goes crazy. And of course, we'll even post. Let me find out Frank's channel here real quick. Hold on a minute, folks. Just hold on. Dang it. Hang on. We'll go ahead and we'll find out Frank Meister's channel and we'll post it in chat here. Excuse me. All right, let's paste it right here. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's old Frank Meister's channel. Of course, everybody knows the infamous Ruckus and I don't know who that lady is up in Christine behind the crime doors. Let's continue. Somebody get him a napkin, something, a hanky, of something.
Yeah, at least 2 to 3 years.
Well, that'll give enough time to try and build a case.
There ain't no case for him to build.
No, there isn't. But they're going to say, and they have the right to say this, Frank, that we tried to introduce evidence and she didn't allow it.
That's because the law
couldn't
allow it. Now, I don't understand why they keep doing that when the law clearly states it cannot bring that in if they don't have a nexus.
I agree. And I needed to rephrase that. It'll give them more time to build a nexus.
Oh.
Now, a nexus doesn't mean that, yeah, it definitely happened. It's just most people have to believe that there's
right.
And it starts with the Supreme Court.
Okay, now they're also talking about the death penalty. They took the death penalty off. Ruckus is saying, hey, could they put that death penalty back on? Right? If he appeals and they go again at it in trial, could they then put the death penalty on? They could. Yes, if they go ahead, because now if I'm the government, if I'm the state, and they're even whispering about an appeal, now I'm going to bust into the good stuff. Now I'm going to go through, I'm going to test everything, right? I'm going to make sure we got everything, all the ducks in order, everything. We're going to go pull the family's phones. We're going to go pull everyone's phones and data. And just because they don't have their phones, that data is somewhere in their provider servers and possibly phone towers data. So you would still be able to have that. Although it's been so long, it was somewhere in there, but it would take time. This was a case where they should have spent the money. They should have called in the big dogs, and they should have got it right the first time. It might have took 5 years only if they would have had the professionals. Let's continue with this.
Right.
They're kind of cynical when it comes to that stuff. But this is our system, and either way, I don't think I never expected a not guilty in being acquitted.
Right.
But it could have been a hung jury, and no matter what verdict it was.
Oh crap! What's wrong?
And the other thing that.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just getting my buzz on. Sorry.
Sleuth is here.
Okay. What did he say? Getting his buzz on? What's he doing? Getting stoned on camera? Is he in India? It's illegal. I don't know. I guess that's great. I don't know. Maybe I am not. I don't know. Let's continue.
Hey, Sleuth, good to see you, buddy. But well, everybody has to remember now. Yes, he's been found guilty. We still have to wait for his sentencing in December, and then 2 to 3 year appeal process. But in the meantime, we all have to move on.
2 to 3 years. Everyone has to move on. Well, now state has 2 to 3 years to really dissect this case. And I got news for everybody. If Richard Allen was cleared in the beginning of this case in his file, they finally found it, they said, and it was stamped clear and he was investigated, then guess what, ladies and gentlemen? As Doug Carter and this channel has always told you folks, this case is not closed. It's an ongoing case. No one has been cleared. And now they got to go back and they'll go through everything. And this is why Doug Carter was so pissed. I do believe Doug Carter knew there just wasn't enough time. It was bigger than what they knew. He was watching these people divert us away from certain people. The way Doug Carter was acting when he was questioning even family. When Toby was questioning about the family before this even happened, the family was having troubles. All this is coming full 360, baby. Oh, hello, Miss Debbie Fox. I'm sorry if you're a little late. It's okay. I know you're a busy lady, but thank you for showing up. We're not going to take long here. I've been watching a whole bunch of channels today. And Frank's pretty happy, and Ruckus and everyone's happy and everything. I was watching, folks, make sure you check out Miss Alex Erickson's channel. Great little lady. She's live right now with the Delphi stuff. You can watch her too.
No question.
Dude, to be honest with you, I moved on months ago.
Oh, I know you did, dude.
Miss Debbie,
I know you did.
can you hear her okay?
It's just one of those things. It's like the Idaho 4. I don't cover that case. I don't talk about that case because he's guilty. And
Right.
It's the same thing with Delphi. Once I got my feet under me and I started realizing what this YouTube thing's all about and how people use it and stuff like that.
Well, let me tell you something. If I was an investigator and I was watching the actions of Frank Meister, I would be asking, is he on Ridwall or whatever they call it, or sinus stuff or whatever? Why is he moving? Why is he so jittery? Why does he keep touching his nose and his face and eyes blinking? There are numerous things that I would be showing my classes if I was a professional investigator, yada, 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 yada. All right, let's continue. Right. And I'm not saying Frank is on anything. First off, you would have to see if he has sinus problems and see if he's taking that sinus medicine and you put up your nose or whatever. But as of now, he's already admitted he's getting high on camera. I keep telling people, they're like, everyone says it's legal in the state. And I'm like, yes, this is correct. It is legal in your state. Federal government is a different thing.
I stopped worrying about all the bullshit. You know, and in my opinion, if I think they're guilty, I'm not going to cover it. You know, I'm trying to help victims' families, not get clicks and ratings. You know.
No, exactly. You know, it's the cases that no one wants to talk about that needs talked about. It's the ones that aren't in the mainstream media.
But this
They need our help.
odd because, you know, I interviewed Drew Collins and it was very emotional and got hardly any views.
Oh, I know. Every time I cover Flora,
Now, I watch
nobody wants to
Ruckus's
watch.
channel
Yeah,
every
but
once
I
in a
did
while.
not
Nobody
find
watches
Delphi,
Flora
and I get
videos.
2,500 views by the time I wake up. It's a crazy case, you know, and I grew up without.
Oh, here comes
What's
Frosty.
up, Frosty?
Hey guys,
Oh, it's the snowman himself. This is interesting.
Hey,
No,
Frosty.
join it.
Wow.
Yeah, I ended up having to upgrade my StreamYard. And you wasn't kidding, they raised the damn rates
Yeah,
on it.
they charged me $40 last week.
It was 45 for me today.
Oh,
Yeah, it's $44.99 now.
what the hell for a month?
Yeah.
Per month.
That's
You haven't seen what the price was for a year.
Jesus, man.
Yeah.
It's $40. But to me, it's worth it.
All right,
because I
here's
have all
Frosty.
Mac Pro. So
Look at all we got everything happening in here, boy.
I've used StreamYard since day one when I came onto YouTube, and I love it. It's a really good
It's awesome.
platform. They've done a lot of improvements with it. Now you can stream from here to my own channel. You can do all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah, we can share the.
It is not gay. They are not gay. They are not gay. I don't think. Who is gay? They might be. I'm not sure. But on here, on this channel, we don't gash or bash gays. Someone give John a cough drop. It ain't me. I keep telling these people. I believe Jesus is correct. This ain't my sick. This ain't my cough. This ain't nothing. I do believe we're gonna deep dive into the black magic arts and expose it.
each other's channels.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I wanted to get StreamYard, but I didn't qualify. What do you mean you didn't qualify?
Ty,
My
thank
parents
you
are married.
for the $5 super sticker. Greatly appreciated. So, give us your opinions on this whole case, Frosty. From the time
Man.
Richard Allen got
All right,
arrested
Frosty's
until
gonna
today.
talk.
So whenever Alan
Can you
got
hear him?
arrested, so that's when I really got into it. So the day the girls went missing, and I remember this like it was yesterday. It was that Monday. I was in my 3-hour-long psychology class at Ivy Tech here in Bloomington, Indiana. And I remember when the Facebook post went out, said there was 2 girls missing in northwestern Indiana. And then by that Thursday, everything had come out, and Monday and Thursday is when I had my classes. And Thursday I had human anatomy and physiology and whatever. And I remember that because that class was such a bitch. And I was sitting in the parking lot of Ivy Tech here on Daniels Way in Bloomington, and I remember when they released the little video or whatever.
All right,
And I was
Frosty.
like, oh, that's going to be solved within a few weeks. And then it turned out that it wasn't.
All right, Frosty's up on panel at Frank Meister's Frosty the Snowman. This just gets interesting. Let's continue.
And time went on, and I kind of forgot about it. And then 2019 rolled around, and I was in Chicago in April of 2019 when the 2019 press conference happened, and they released the second sketch. And they said it was somebody between the ages of 18 and 40. And I'm like, what the hell are they doing out there? That was really the last time I paid much attention to it. And then in 2020, during the pandemic and all that, my brother was really into this case, and he was talking to me about it. And, we couldn't go anywhere. So I was like, my brother messaged me. He's like, I really want to go see this bridge. And it was June 17th or something like that. I'll have to check my Snapchat. But the first time I went out there was June of 2020.
Okay, Frosty was at the bridge in 2020. Frosty the Snowman. Let's continue.
And that's when it kind of got me. And I never really got into the YouTube stuff, though. And then 2.5 years after that, Alan gets arrested. And I was really, I was like, because at first he didn't look like the guy on the bridge to me. And then they said they had a bullet that matched his gun. And, being, me growing up around guns, and, I took law enforcement courses.
I don't blame you, Frosty, for not thinking it wasn't Richard Allen. You're not the only one. Many. Why? Because there's no way you could give 100% identification on Bridge Guy with the video they were showing us. No way. We needed something closer to give 100% it was Richard Allen. Why? Because there was too many people in that area at that time that looked like Richard Allen from a distance. I'm just saying.
as an Ivy Tech, as well as the the anatomy stuff and all that. And that's when I was like, oh shit, okay, they may really have this guy. And that's when I really got into it because it was so interesting to me that it was just some dude who lived down the street, And I thought from day one, since the arrest, that they had the right guy. And when the Franks memo came out, it kind of caught my attention. And I caught on pretty quick that it was a bunch of bullshit. And one of the biggest things to me in the Franks memo was that, they tried to convince people that there was a rope used in the murders. But if you go back and you listen to the scanner audio,
they took him out.
Lost him.
They hit him.
Are you okay?
They put a hit on Frosty. Holy crap, they took 2 in the head. Did you hear that? It sounded like gunfire. This is unbelievable. Did they get him? Oh my God, it sounded, Debbie, it sounded like 2.
I can't hear you, Frosty.
Hello?
Oh man.
Okay then.
one down.
Oh, 1 down. They took him out. 2 right in the back. Bap bap. Oh, this is unbelievable. Let's see if he makes it. Let's see. Did you hear that, Debbie? Sounded like 2 gunfire. Pop pop. No, Frosty, the snowman. They got him. Oh man, let's see. He might have survived it.
Yeah. I
He'll be
mean,
back.
we all discussed that rope thing for several years.
Oh, can you guys hear me? Sorry.
Yeah.
He survived it, folks. Frosty the snowman survived it. This is unbelievable. It sounded like someone took him out. They're all lucky to be alive. I can tell you that much. This is unreal. You won't see this kind of content anywhere else but Frank Meister's. Yes, dear. Keegan Klein is in prison, dear. I just got your message. All right, let's continue. Frosty the snowman made it out of the attempt on his life. He's alive. It sounded like everyone was there. Are you all right, Frosty? And then Ruckus said, 1 down, they got him.
My mic broke off. They tried to convince people that a rope had been used in the murders, but if you listen to the scanner audio, law enforcement had called for a rope. And
this is true. Frosty the snowman is telling the truth. And that the rope was just recently released. We had no idea about the yellow rope in the beginning of this case. Not everyone said, oh, we knew about. No, we didn't. The yellow rope was not released until recently. After, I do believe they had Richard Allen already locked up. That's when the yellow rope came into play, and they showed it like, I don't know, a couple of years ago or something. But everyone, he's right. Everyone was saying the rope was used in the murders. Greeno and everyone was saying they used it. Even the Flying Dutchman, Frank, Art of Deduction, thought that the rope was used. He showed photos of the crime scene and the girls, but things were blurted out except for one of the girls looked like she had bruising around her thigh. Now, I don't know if it was true. I don't even know if that was the real photo. But everyone went to the rope was used to hang the girls upside down. So Frosty the snowman is telling the truth about that. Frosty, if you're watching, I'm glad you survived the hit because we thought they hit you right there on camera. Good God.
that kind of told me that they were lying. And yeah, That's how I kind of knew that they were full of shit the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, we had been talking about that rope for several years. We weren't sure if it was a rope for them to pull up the gurney baskets, pull the girls up the hill. We wasn't sure what it was all about. And then when I heard Sergeant Page from
Well, we didn't know there was a rope involved. The only information that was released was certain information. And at the time, no one knew about the rope. No one knew about it. They released that after. After so long as the case went down, then they released that. See, there were certain things that the police withheld, right? I think the police also knew that someone had information on YouTube that no one else could have had. And that's what sent the police into a fury, I think, because they were like, wait a minute, why are these guys over here on these channels talking about it? And everyone else, we were all making videos going, what are you talking about, sticks? What are you talking about, carvings? What are you talking about? And then they went on to say this and that and this and that and this and that. And everyone was flabbergasted. We all were flabbergasted.
SP explaining what the rope was out there, then it all made sense. They used it as the grid out there.
Okay, so I thought they were using it to pull the bodies up. I thought that's okay.
No, Sergeant Page, he explained exactly they would tie it.
No, Frosty's right. A lot of people thought that the rope was used to pull the bodies up the embankment, right? If the girls were dead, they used the rope to drag the girls. Frosty is right. We all thought that. We all thought that. Why? Because the crime scene photos, some of it was released out already. And YouTubers were showing it. So therefore, there was a photo shown, and one of the girls had bruising around her thigh. Right? Like something was wrapped around her leg. So that's why we all thought, well, then it must be they used something and then enter the rope. Then they started showing a yellow rope, saying this must have been part of it. But a lot of people didn't realize, I didn't even realize, that the police use the rope to quarantine off certain areas so they can search it and then move the rope. Now, I don't know if that's true. Usually they use police tape, but this is what we can't do, is trust everything they say, because this is still an ongoing case.
A yellow rope from one tree to the next, and you couldn't go past that yellow rope, so they would go back about 50 yards and start walking forward to look to see if they see any evidence. Once they got to that rope, they untied it and went to the next tree up and tied it across and go backwards again and walk forward until you get to the rope again.
Yeah, great.
Well, Frank Meister's correct about that. Now that we found out that's what they're saying, but that's what they're saying. We don't know if they did that or not. I mean, that's what they're saying they did. Right? But when you don't film crime scenes or take proper photographs of police quarantine, here we are quarantining the crime scene and photos, tape, all kinds of stuff. This is the stuff we're going to use in a crime scene, okay, to investigate it, to quarantine it. Caution tape, cards to write if there's bullets or stab wounds or whatever, right? So you document all this as you go, right? Here's the crime team showing up, the forensic guys, right? Here's them quarantining the crime scene off, bunch of film, bunch of photos. Here's the stab wounds, and they'll hold up cards next to it, right? Exhibit A. You document every single little thing. And being that it wasn't documented, unless we see yellow, orange rope around the trees and investigators doing their jobs, automatically people are going to think they're not being upfront, and that yellow rope was used to either drag the girl somewhere. There might have been rope used, but not that rope. We don't know that. Let's continue.
It's like a grid.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, this case is, I mean, on our end, as far as us, we know this case is over with.
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
We don't know nothing yet. And keep that in mind. It might be over for this channel, Frank Meister and the rest of these guys. That's fine. But the case is not over. Far from over.
Now we're going to have to deal with, we don't have to deal with, but we're going to have to sit back and watch the families get harassed. You know, it's still going to continue.
It's not harassed if they're being investigated by somebody. So keep that in mind, folks. Okay, there's a difference from being harassed and people trying to do their jobs. Okay? I mean, no offense to anybody. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah, but at least now I hope there'll be some possible court cases maybe that come out of that.
right.
I hope somebody gets sued.
But once again, with my position as being close to the family like this, I'm going to be backing them up and defending them no matter what.
And that's the problem right there. These people were close to the family. And never get close to anybody in a murder case until the case is fully done. And so now I can see why some of these YouTubers are saying we're getting backlash from looking at this and looking at that. Well, if you got YouTubers out there that are real close to the family and their main thing is to keep the family safe or keep the family out of this whole thing or whatever, well, this is our problem when people try and investigate of what really is happening or what was happening at the time in Delphi, all around Delphi, Lafayette, at the time of the murders.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is over with.
Yeah, we
not
need
somebody
No,
to respect their privacy.
Once
Not
the gag
somebody's
order is
fault.
released, and you know, if there's any family members that want to speak about what they've gone through, it might be something that they want to do. It might be something that they don't want to do.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Go ahead and post in my chat if you think the case is over with, done with, and that's it. There's so much evidence that hasn't even been tested yet, and they want it to be done.
I will respect whatever they decide, and if they need a place, you know, to speak, Becky knows she's got those options. She's got all of us that would be, you know, that would help her with that.
hold on, guys. I'm trying to make somebody a moderator, and for some reason,
Well, I'd just like to say something here.
All
It's
right.
okay to have
Ruckus is going to talk. Everyone, shh. Ruckus. Go on, Ruckus.
a difference of opinions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somehow,
Correct.
some way, and I'm
Ruckus
getting
is
used to
correct.
this YouTube social media stuff. I'm an old guy, but somehow, some way, it got personal. And learn from this case. Okay, we need to move on. We need to give the family their privacy, give them support, but give them their privacy.
Yeah.
But the next case, as a YouTube creator that you guys work on, don't entertain the bullshit. You know,
Yep.
my thing is fuck them, block and ignore.
Right.
Because when they get personal, there's no procedure for that. It's
Yeah.
like there's no fair fight. They just put your information out there. They dox you. They dox your family. They call you a job. That's not healthy.
No, Ruckus is right about that. I do think some of these YouTubers cross the line with calling people's jobs and trying to steal money from them and hack their computers and get photos and all kinds of crazy stuff. I agree 100% there with Ruckus. It's not justice. It ain't democracy. It's just a bunch of thieves stealing from us. And if they find out you're a stupid idiot, they'll try and steal as much as they can. Let's see what my mod Debbie is saying. This is over, Johnny. This case will be done. Keep this going on is hurting the families. No, you're probably right about that, but the family is happy that Richard Allen was found guilty. Right? They're happy. I agree with you. It should be over with, but if they're talking appeal, then they got to go through the case again. And there was so much stuff that wasn't tested, Debbie. And they just started testing it recently, like 2 weeks ago. How can the case be over with yet when the evidence wasn't even all collected or put in, right? What if there's more? Even the family, Debbie, came out and said if there's more people involved, they want it to be over with, right? They want it to get them all or whatever.
It's not a healthy discussion. So let's learn from this case. And if somebody disagrees, that's fine. Move on. It doesn't matter. But when it gets personal and stuff like that, I just block and ignore them. You know, I don't have time.
I just don't think we should give them a platform. I don't think, giving them the time of day, using their names, talking about them, that's...
Well, you can't say that. These people have a right to voice their opinions, right? You can't say we can't give these people a platform because now you're being biased and racist. Now people can't voice their opinions on YouTube or on channel. I mean, there's talk that some of them YouTubers that are out here doing this have records and they shouldn't even be investigating cases or whatever. Maybe that's true. I don't know.
That's what they want. They want their 15 minutes of fame, even if it's a negative. You know what I mean? Even if it's negative press, they don't care. They just want somebody talking about them.
And that's exactly why I don't like other creators being talked about in my chat, because once they get word that we're talking about them or somebody's talking about them, that's when they start their bullshit.
What?
No, I agree with Frank on that. Right? But let's rewind this, what they're saying here.
They want their 15 minutes of fame, even if it's a negative. You know what I mean? Even if it's negative press, they don't care. They just want somebody talking about them.
And that's exactly.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of people are upset because other people's opinions, they're saying, if it don't coincide with certain channels, everyone's a liar or everybody's crazy.
Exactly why I don't like other creators being talked about in my chat, because once they get word that we're talking about them or somebody's talking about them, that's when they start their bullshit.
Well, they have the same rights as we do to come on and voice their opinion. They're just using different tactics.
Right.
I dealt with assholes like them my whole career. You just ignore them.
Yeah.
Like that sergeant you were talking to, when they were starting their shit, Frank, he patted you on the shoulder like.
Yeah. He knows me. Well, these guys are going to come up here and try to pull this bullshit when this officer here knows me personally.
All right, so now we have another YouTuber that's saying he knows the police personally. Right? Is that why Frank Meister was allowed to have his weapon on government property? I don't know. But now Frank Meister is saying he knows that cop personally. And when you're wrapped up into stuff and these police officers know you personally and you're friends with them and stuff. This is how it this is how the case is not over. When the people around are screaming corruption, and you got YouTubers with records and people, and they're saying they know the cops personally, and how you gonna get me kicked off of that property? I know the cop personally. This is a problem in our country.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
So if you have opinion, I mean, of course, voice your opinion, but then don't argue. You know, if I disagree with you, doesn't mean you should look up my background and
Yeah, what's that about?
call my job and talk to my wife and all that stuff. So, you know, I try and stay up.
No, I agree with Ruckus on that. Now, these people shouldn't be. If you were on the street right now and word got on the street that you folks were digging in my garbage, trying to get information and stuff on people, back when I was growing up, they'd beat you half to death because you don't pry in people's lives. So I agree what Ruckus is saying. These people, they dig in, they hack our computers, they steal. They'll try and get your bank account, whatever. I agree, Ruckus.
Out of that as much as possible, but I hope everybody learns from this case that none of that needs to happen. And Kristen,
Right.
I'm sure that somebody is going to try at least to sue somebody else over all this shit. And it's not worth it.
How can you sue? It's public information. They put their own names into the Delphi. They put themselves there. Their phones ping there. They made videos saying they were questioned. How can you not say someone's going to get sued? Who? Well, someone's going to get sued probably. If Richard Allen was found not guilty, the state was going to get sued. If these people, this whole thing was just a big farce, yeah, the state could get sued. But people that are sitting back and just repeating the videos that you make, I don't think can be sued for what? It's freedom of speech, and we don't call people's jobs. That's defamation there. If you're calling people's jobs and trying to get them fired, and it's one thing to tell people, hey, these people are idiots or no good, but then you go ahead and you call their job and whatever. I don't know if that should be allowed. Maybe, I mean, if they're stone cold killers, then maybe people, I mean, if they have the proof, the government or whatever, then maybe they should be able to call your job and let your employee know, you got a mad killer working for you or whatever. I don't know. They might be able to. Let's continue. Let's see what Debbie said. Wow, they just keep their mouths open about who they know. Yeah, I know. It's fun. It happens around here too. Garage or garbage is still your property. All of this is public. I don't know.
There was a hung jury today. I would have accepted it the same as a guilty. If they
I
found
absolutely
innocent
agree
somehow,
with you.
I would have accepted it.
No, I absolutely agree with you on the verdict stuff, but I'm talking about the family members that have been put through hell. I think they have every right to sue. The guys that were brought up in this case by the defense and their names slandered through the mud, I believe that they...
All right, let's get this straight. The people that were suspects in Delphi probably already had, the people that were questioned already had records that fit similar arrests to Delphi. So I don't know if you can sue these people's names. I'm not sure. the reason they were questioned or brought up, probably, maybe they weren't the killers, but they were on a list of bad people in that area that committed crimes, much like Duvall and many others for SA and other things. Right? I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
They have a case, and I believe that, you know, somebody needs to stand up and say something. These people shouldn't get away with being able to do what they've done to some of these people.
Right.
So hurtful. And
they don't have a reason to do it. They don't know Richard Allen.
It's just
It's not like
out
his
of
best
fight.
friend stood up and said all this shit.
And it's like I said this morning. I did a video, and I said, you know, as a creator, when I started YouTube, it's kind of like how I felt when I was doing my job in medicine. Do no harm. You know, that's my oath. And I think all YouTubers that are in our genre and that cover these cases, that should be theirs as well. That should be their mantra, is to do no harm.
Yep.
I mean, we should tell the truth, and sometimes the truth hurts, and sometimes we have to cover families that do horrific things. But when you know the family has been looked at and cleared, basically, which in this case they had been very early on, what was done to them on social media is absolutely
Reprehensible.
despicable.
But they did it themselves. They implanted themselves there. If they didn't want to be exposed, they shouldn't have had records to be questioned. You don't get questioned like this, or your name don't get brought up in something like this if your past don't fit the case. I don't know. Maybe they can sue. I don't know. But I would find it hard when they it's protocol, right? These people were suspects. Some of them placed themselves there. Some of them came out on YouTube and said they were questioned by the police in Delphi for the case. I mean, I don't know how you could. I mean, I don't know. I was told you can't sue for defamation in Indiana. And I would probably say that's a lie, what they told me, because they themselves didn't want to get sued. Let's continue on. Let's see what Debbie said. Tons of people were slandered. Yeah. Hacked, slandered. We all were. They were making videos. The one guy SH was saying I needed my ass kicked. And they were just going nuts.
It's just so uncalled for, you know. What if it was your grandchild or your daughter that you have to put yourself in their shoes, you know? And a lot of these people don't. And that's where I took the time to sit back and reflect.
If it was my child or my grandson or daughter, I would want to make sure they got it right. And they got every single one that was involved in the murders.
And said, man, what if that was me? How would I feel? And I believe that's the reason why I was able to get so close to this family, because I put myself in their shoes, even though literally I can't, but I have to put a mindset, you know, look what they're going through. You know what I mean? CD, what's going on, buddy? He says, Frank Meister, great job today being ears and eyes. Also, much respect to you given.
So does Frank Meister know the family? I'm not sure. He says he got real close to the family.
Carrie a hug. She's such a
for me to meet her and hug her. She thanked me for all the stuff that I've done on the case. To me, that's all I needed to hear. When you hear that and you know it's from their heart and they mean it, everything that I've done over the years is, he's picking on you.
You know that old thing, a camera had 10 pounds? So
Yeah,
how many
yeah,
cameras did
no
you
lie.
have on you? Shit.
I feel like I gave.
And there's a key thing that old Ruckus just said. The camera puts on pounds. And the camera can also take pounds off. Keep that in mind.
Some weight since I've been here.
What this guy was out there doing and to what children he was.
I'm interested to see if they find anything outside of this case like Keegan was doing.
Right.
That's what I want to find out, if he was doing that, because then it'll explain a lot of stuff.
I mean,
Well, we said that in the beginning, but you guys said we were nuts. Right? That's what we said in the beginning of the case. Once we found out about Keegan Klein, it's a pedo ring. The girls had to go. It was either that or the girls were sexually active or being abused somewhere. Or a revenge kill for what the family was involved in. But all these people now, they were the ones that, don't listen to these people, they're crazy. And now here they are on camera saying stuff they shouldn't be saying, they shouldn't be doing. I don't know, right? The case came 360 around. Let me see what Debbie said. Something to think about. Yeah. Like I said, I don't think you can sue people for slander.
I've seen the interview with him. Interview/interrogation. I mean, they're fluid. And see,
Yes, Miss Debbie Fox. Cameras take weight off and they put weight on. And depending on how you download that photo, the format could also play a part on taking weight off, making someone look shorter, or making someone look taller and thinner.
he knows this. I mean, it starts in the parking lot with a handshake. How you doing? Come on in. The detective will use his badge to buzz him in. And it starts off with how you doing.
What do you think that Richard Allen was? Somebody said he won't go to Newcastle. That's for child molesters.
Well, it's sexual.
He's still a child molester. That's what his intentions were.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, not all, I don't know how Indiana is, but not all those folks are felons.
Yeah, true.
He's the,
Yeah, unless they that's kind of iffy there.
he's a felon now. So
Jack Yellover said it was a perfect birthday present for her because my birthday is Friday.
Mine's
Well,
on
happy
Thursday.
birthday, Jackie.
I turned 30 on Thursday.
Jackie
Yeah.
doesn't feel
What?
now he can
30?
legally drink.
Yeah, I turned 30 on Thursday.
Man, you're a young.
God, you're such a baby.
No.
Ah,
God.
You're a baby.
Here, we got one is pushed 60, one is hitting 60, two of us are hitting 60.
oh, I still feel bad.
Hey,
It was
Miss King,
getting green when I started.
one, thank you.
You're welcome. But like I said, you're a great person. You're a great human being. You have a huge heart. And for those of us that got to know you, the real you, thank you for allowing us in, and thank you for all the live streams we've done together. I've had an amazing time. I hope that they're not over. I hope we still
Oh, they're
share
not,
that.
you know that.
I hope we still share that. And Ruckus,
Good people in Carroll County, guys. A lot of good people. Yes, ma'am, I'll see you. Not about this trial. There are a lot of good people in Carroll County, guys. A lot of good people.
They are. They hopefully, my biggest thing is I hope they can all move on.
Same here, dude. I mean, yeah, we've all heard the negatives about Carroll County with the meth problem and all that stuff like that. But there's more to this county than just the murders of 2 children and meth. There are some
Yeah.
really good people there.
There really are, man.
It's not about this trial. There are a lot of good people in Carroll County, guys. A lot of good
There
people.
are, man. There
You know.
are. I thank everybody
Right,
for all
right,
your
yes.
support. Laura.
Yeah. It's been, you know, one hell of an experience up there in Delphi, besides even with the trial. You know, like I said, I've got to meet a lot of people there in Delphi. Me and Frosty got to experience the Bacon Fest, had a great time up there. You know, it's just not about this trial. There are a lot of good people in Carroll County, guys.
I'll tell you what, Delphi is a beautiful area, right? Beautiful little town, look pretty clean. I imagine they did clean it up before the case, but it looked pretty clean. It could have been a little bit more cleaner. You could have got the leaves off of my courtyard, but the rest of the town really looked clean. It looked like a beautiful little town. It looks like the same town I live in. You're going to experience a lot of towns like Delphi in Indiana. It's an old state, a lot of old buildings. So I agree with them. Delphi is a beautiful place, and there probably is good people out there. That's true. But that don't mean there ain't a problem out there.
A lot of good
There
people.
are, man. There
You know.
are. And they hopefully, my biggest thing is I hope they can all move on.
Same here, dude. I mean, yeah, we've all heard the negatives about Carroll County with the meth problem and all that stuff like that. But there's more to this county than just the murders of 2 children and meth. There are some really good people there.
No,
They
I
really
agree.
are, man. And you know, Kathy was with us. Yeah, no, I was talking mid-sentence and my damn microphone snapped and I had to grab the other one.
Right.
I don't know.
We weren't sure. We thought they took you out, Frosty the Snowman. We thought they took you out. It did, didn't it, Debbie? It sounded like he got it pop pop. But he said he pulled his microphone out. All right, so we've been going around. We've been reviewing other channels here. Tonight we were watching Frank Meister because he was all. Everyone was saying he's ecstatic and they all saw, but it's just unbelievable. You got Greeno out there saying he's now solved it. He had it right all along. He had it all along. He had it right. I don't know what happened to his other 3 channels and all this content where he had 50, 60 other people that were, I don't know. I have no idea. Garbage is legal up for grabs on the street. What did he say, Debbie? What did he say? I'm just going to see what he said. Who is it? Well, it's Stinky Johnson. They let you out already, Stinky Johnson? Oh, we're getting threats from Harmon's. I don't know. Oh, I might have hit the wrong button, Debbie. I might have hit him. Oh boy, I might have hit him. I unhit him, but I timed him out. All right, so I think we've had enough of this channel reviewing it and Frank Meister and everybody and Old Ruckus, the rest of the people. And is my opinion, is Delphi over? No. And if you know anything about, watch these crime channels, folks. Watch CIA, FBI, Homeland, and their techniques. Watch documentaries on how they question people, how people act, what they do when they're nervous or they're under pressure. They'll blink their eyes. They'll touch their face. They'll sway back and forth. They'll do numerous things. So keep that in mind. And we'll be back with more of Delphi. The case is not over. And I do believe when Doug Carter and the FBI get on TV and say Delphi case is closed and we are no longer investigating anything, then it'll be over. When they say we got them all, then it'll be over. And I don't even think it'll be over then, because I think people will hire their own investigators to try and solve the case. This is one of them John Bonet Ramsey cases. This is one of them cases that just go on because people don't feel at rest with the way the investigation was handled. So when the FBI, when Homeland, when Doug Carter gets up there and says the case is completely done, we got them all, that we don't have to worry about nothing, then the case, and only then the case, will be over. And even then it won't be over because these sleuths will go to no extent to solve the case. They'll sink their own money into private investigators and stuff to investigate it. So I don't think it'll be over for a long time. Me and Debbie might be taking a break. I'm not sure, maybe over the holidays. The holidays will come. We got Thanksgiving, Christmas right around the corner. I gotta send some money to the kids for Christmas. Winter is always tough for me. But once spring comes, then I get back out and do yard work for that family. So little couple dollars coming in, couple bucks, right? It's a couple bucks. It's yeah. Am I rich? Not at all. I'm poor, but it helps, and the government gets their money from me. And every time I go into a gas station, a store, anytime you buy anything, the government is getting their money in the state. Do I get anything back at the end of the year? No, nothing. I hardly even file state. State keeps telling me, "We'll get I think you got like $100. I don't even want to. It ain't even worth my time. File taxes for $100, $200. It ain't worth it. It costs me more to file taxes than to get it. I mean, and they get that. They just keep that. Hopefully, they're keeping it in a giant bank account for me somewhere off seas, collecting interest and stuff. I hope our state is getting that smart, right? No, you don't want us to pay you right now. We'll throw it in an account. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, the state of Indiana. Now, don't get me wrong. Indiana is a beautiful state. It needs work. We spend money stupidly. You must legalize cannabis to get us out of the hole that you just went ahead and put us in with this case. We need the money. You might as well, we're surrounded by states that have legalized it. These people are going out of state and doing everything, and they're getting the money, and Indiana ain't. They got to make changes. They got to make changes fast. They got to compromise, overcome, adapt. They might as well legalize cannabis and let the state get their money and try and pull us out of the hole. And we need new roads out here. We need security. We need a lot. Rehabs and government apartments. Schools need rebuilt. Numerous things. Now, I want all you folks to have a great night. We might be back later with a fire. I don't care. Show the video of the speeding. I don't care. Go ahead. I really don't care no more. You know what? I'll pay the $20. Just go away. Quit harassing people. You want me to show you videos of the guy that's harassing people around here? I don't know, maybe. But who cares? My mod took him out. To be honest, even if he was my guilty, this will never be at rest. I've had it with this woman. I have had it with this woman. This woman is too much. I think sometimes deliberately, she goes deliberately out of her way to drive me completely crazy. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. I know you said it. To be honest, this case will never be at rest. I know, dear. I know. I know. Go buy some lootings. I don't do lewds. You can't get good lewds anymore. The lewds stopped somewhere around 79, the bad one, or the good ones. Ever since they went down. So I don't do lewds no more. Yeah. All right. So there you go. I'll be back later. I want to thank the great mod and all the ladies that stopped in my channels today. What great ladies. I want to give a shout out to Miss Criminality. Miss Criminality, if you want me to take your channel down, I did post it in chat. I will take it down. That's no problem. But we were watching your coverage of the case today, and we went ahead and we were showing your channel and everybody out there on everybody. Frank Meister, I dumped your channel in my chat. And I don't know what to say. I have no idea what to say, but there you go. There you go, folks. I put his chat in there. Check out Frankenmeister. And I'm this case ain't closed yet. On this channel, there's just too much that didn't add up. So the case will probably go on, but maybe behind scenes or top secret or something. We're not sure. Now, you folks have a great night. Like I said, we might be back with a fire later. I don't know how to feel. Feel loved, feel happy. Have a great night.